Kiera Luck of Black Sports Online. Do you guys feel any less pressure this year?
Joel?
I mean, that's a hard question. I mean, I don't feel any pressure. You know, this is our last one, and we just want to enjoy it as much as we can, and just do like we did last year and just take it one game at a time and make sure we're focusing on the game that's coming up. So we don't want to look ahead. I know everybody, you know, the question is, do we want to make it back to the Final Four? I mean, that's the ultimate goal, but right now we just have to make sure we're taking it one at a time and just focusing in on that game.
Yeah, I agree with Joel said. We're just going to take it one game at a time. I think my biggest thing is living it up right now, just enjoying the process, enjoying this open practice coming up, all that type of stuff, and staying in the moment. I think that's the biggest thing for us.
And please address your questions to a specific student-athlete. Next question in front of us, second row.
Glenn Love with SRN Broadcasting in Chicago. This is for both of you guys. You've been to a few NCAA tournaments, games before. You've been here before. What are you guys doing to try to help the freshmen grasp what's getting ready to happen?
I think we're just being ourselves. I mean, going around laughing, having fun with each other, and taking it as a regular game. We know it's not a regular game. Everybody understands what's going on, but at the same time, we want everybody to be relaxed and just know that we need to just take it one game at a time. I think we're doing a good job of that right now, just making sure the young guys understand you can't win it all until you win the first one. So we got to take it one game at a time and see what happens.
Joel?
Yeah, I think what helped us out the last couple of years is just us coming into, you know, doing the interviews and going out into the court. And every time you see us, we're always laughing and joking around. And I think that's how you have to be. You know, if you sit around and think about the game too much and think about you know, if you lose, you go home, you know, that kind of gets to you a little bit. So just us, you know, with our personalities and the way this team has been over the last couple of years of us just going out and just always having fun and laughing and joking, I think that kind of relaxes everybody and you get your mind off of, you know, the one game and you go home. So it just gives you a chance to relax and enjoy the moment. So I think that has helped us.
Back left.
Roger Rubin from the Fieldhouse. This is a question for Theo, and apologies if it's a bit of an essay question, but you and Mike Buckland from Lipscomb, high school teammates, two state titles, right?
Yep.
Can you describe for us what the relationship between the two of you is like, what it was like when you were playing in high school ball, and if you guys have had any communication since you guys got paired?
Me and Mike were really good friends. In high school, he was always that guy to look up to the older guys. He always listened. He always tried to learn from us, even though he wasn't as big of a freshman. I mean, as big of a player as all of us were. We were all highly ranked and stuff like that. He was always under the radar, but he always worked hard and always wanted to get better. And I haven't talked to him that much since I've been in college because, I mean, I've been where I am and where he is. We're not the same age or whatever, but he's a really good dude, and I'm happy for him.
Front row.
This is to either one who want to answer. A lot of people want to call this a rebuild year for you guys. Do you guys feel that way, or do you guys feel like you have a solid identity on who you are going into this tournament?
I think this year was kind of a rebuilding year, but you know, I knew we were going to have our ups and downs with the young players that we have, but to make it as far as we have and to be at the point where we are now as a team, I wouldn't have thought we would have been this good. You know, like I said, we're having the young players and guys from this team who have stepped into different roles from last year. You know, it was really only me and Theo, the ones that were returning from the run last year, that actually got a chance to play in the game and got some good minutes. Everybody else, you know, Luke, Kenny, they weren't playing as much. And so even those guys are stepping into different roles this year. So, it's been an up and down year, but towards the end, for some reason we always end up clicking, and that's when you want to be playing your best basketball. And I think that when we went up to the ACC tournament, even though we wanted to win, I think we made some strides and, showed ourselves that we can be as good as any team in the country. We just have to put our mind to it. But, it is a rebuilding year, but I think we've done a great job of getting the young guys to buy into the system and the older guys to play a little bit better. And me and Theo, we've led this team. And like I said, we've made some strides this year.
Front row.
Players, how important is it to have a healthy Cameron Johnson in the lineup for you guys? And as guys who have been through this before a couple of times, does it give you a rush to see an older guy like that going through this for the first time and kind of, discovering all the things you already knew about this tournament?
Yeah.
I think, like I said, with Cam being on the floor, it's another threat. You have to be aware of him being on the floor because he's such a good shooter and he can open up the court. And even if he's not moving well, with him being on the court, it opens up driving lanes because you don't want to help off of him because he can still knock down the shot. That's not going nowhere. So I think that's a big thing for us. But, at the same time, I just try to make sure everybody knows that just be in the moment. Enjoy this. You never know when this is going to be the last time. You don't know if you're going to come back here at all. So you want to enjoy every moment.
Joel?
Yeah, basically what Theo said, Cam is a great shooter, and that's what he does. And if we can have him out on the court, regardless, it opens up the court. We want to be able to drive the ball and get it into the lane. Even though this year we've taken a lot of three-pointers, we still want to get the ball down low and still get in the paint and get some driving lanes. So having him out on the court spaces out the court to where you have to respect him as a shooter. And so we need him to be out on the court, and he's doing everything he can to get his body right, and I'm sure he will play. With him being the older guy, I don't think he's going to sit out the tournament. And I know he's pretty excited, coming from a team who didn't make the tournament. And so I think that he's pretty excited to be in this, and, we want him to be able to enjoy it as much as possible. So they're doing everything in their our trainers are doing everything in their will to help him get out there on the court and play.
Second row to our right.
For both players, before Sunday, how aware were you of Lipscomb? Did you even know Lipscomb was a team? And what have you learned since then, since preparation has begun about them?
I did, of course, because my old teammate went there. But also, I remember we was looking at film on Tennessee, and they played Tennessee right before we did. So we had saw a couple clips on them before, but that's about it.
Joel?
Yeah, I've heard of the school before, but I really didn't get a chance to see them play much. But we've been watching film and been watching tape, and they're a good team. They like to get out and play a fast pace like we do. I think they average more points per game than we do, so we know that it's going to be a fast-paced game, which we like, and we just got to make sure that they're not playing it better than us.
Front row to our left.
Theo, this is Scott Fowler from the Charlotte Observer. You're such a catalyst for this team. When you look back at the Virginia championship game, what went wrong in that game, and what do you think your role in this tournament should be for this team?
Well, me going 1 for 10 wasn't good at all. Also, just they made big-time plays, big-time shots at the end of the game. Kyle made some big-time shots, and those are the ones that you just got to tip your hat to them. Those are huge. And we were right there. We made a couple of plays at the end that I made a turnover that tried to throw to Garrison that was terrible, speaking personally. But other than that, in this tournament, just beat Theo. Just do what I've been doing pretty much the whole season, get my teammates involved, staying aggressive, and doing it on defensive end also. Just doing whatever it takes to win games. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
We have time for 2 more questions. Anybody else? 2 in the back of the room.
Ken Ngoya from Sporting News. Are you guys doing anything differently going to the tournament this year to try to avoid any complacency or anything like that?
I mean, we just lost, so it's not really any complacency at all. I mean, I think that just added a little more fire to us. Just the fact that we went 4 days in a row of playing quality teams and had a chance to get a championship, and we fell short. So if that doesn't get everybody motivated, I don't know what will. And it's the NCAA tournament. We've been here before. We're excited, and we want to go out on top.
Middle of the room.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. This is for either player. After being in the ACC wars for the last 2 months, how's it feel to get a chance to play some different teams for now?
Yeah, that's what Coach was stressing in practice today and practice the other day before we left, is that now we're getting a chance to play against different teams who necessarily don't know our offense as much as a conference team would. So we have to make sure that we're going out there executing what we're doing and what we want to do. You know, it's hard in the conference when every team knows exactly what you're about to run and know every single play that you have, and now you're going against teams who don't know it. So we have to make sure that we're executing and doing running the plays that we want to run, because they're going to work, and eventually the team will catch on to it in the game. But right now, we're going against teams who don't know us as well. So that's a great thing, being able to go against another team from another conference that we don't know each other.
Last question.
Roger Rubin from the Fieldhouse. This is a question for both guys. Can you describe in what ways you feel like this game against number 15 Lipscomb feels dangerous?
I think anybody can be beat. I think we saw last year, I think it was Middle Tennessee State beat Michigan State or something like that. So, I mean, it can happen. But at the same time, we're focused. We know they can score the ball. They scored 106 points in their championship game. I mean, I don't know if we hit that this year or not, but they can score the ball, great shooters, and so we're mentally prepared and we'll be ready.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming into the tournament. We want to just do what we have to do regardless of what team it is. I mean, we can't look down on any team. They call it March Madness for a reason, and anything can happen. And all it takes is for one team to play great that day, and I mean, that's all it takes. And then next thing you know, you're going home. So we have to make sure that regardless of who it is, 1, 16, you just got to come out and play basketball. And if you're a competitor, you don't worry about the numbers. You just go out there and just do what you do as a basketball player, and you compete on every single play. And I know personally I will do that, and I'm going to do my best to try to help my teammates to understand that if we want to be the best that we want to be, regardless of what seed they are, we just got to go out and we just got to play Carolina basketball and do what we do.